Hi, I'm Tracy Lewis with We Are in a Garden, joined with Pastor Scott and Shelley Bradford from Matthew's Hope Ministry. And this is Straight Talk, No BS with Matthew's Hope. Let's start with the basics. Why Matthew's Hope? What prompted you to start this?
When I first moved out to West Orange County 30 some years ago, what I noticed is a lot of homeless people. And I was starting to ask people around who these people were. And everyone was saying to us, we don't have any homeless people here. And my response back then was, well, we got a hell of a lot of campers then. I wanted to find out what these people were. One, because I myself had come out of homelessness.
Okay.
And so it bothered me that I was seeing this, but I didn't see anything nearby that was servicing the homeless in any way. And in fact, what little was happening at the time, and even today, is really perpetuating homelessness, in my opinion. We are who we are because out of necessity. The closest thing to us 13 years ago in Orange County was 11 miles away. 13 going 14 years later, it's 11 miles away.
What is Matthew's Hope today?
The general statement is we're a homeless outreach, we're a homeless ministry. And what I tell people is that we're a ministry first and foremost, demonstrating, and that's the key word here, demonstrating the love, hope, grace, and mercy of Jesus Christ in all we do. And we are a facilitator of opportunity for those who choose, the other key word, to move forward towards a life of independence and self-sustainability.
And what we mean by move forward is, are you going to be able to stand on your own in the end? We're not in the shelter business.
Right.
The idea of putting someone in a house doesn't make them any less homeless than putting me in the garage makes me a car.
Sure.
Most programs are structured to address the symptoms. We're addressing the cause.
Sure.
And then how do we take care of this? What can we do to either move this person off the street or to improve their quality of life in some way, knowing we'll never get them off the street, but can we connect them with services that might allow them to have a better quality of life until that time that they pass? I mean, I know it sounds bad, but until you actually see it and you watch people literally watch their life expire, and there could have been more done to help it.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That's tough to sleep at night when you know those things are happening.
Wow.
And it's happening right here in our backyard every day.
Yeah. Shelley, what would you like to see out of this podcast?
More awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had a guy who was minding his own business, trying to heal after being let out of the hospital. And, I won't say where it was, but they went in, the city went in, took a claw, took up all of his stuff, all of his medications, everything, put it in the trash.
Wow.
And that, to me, that's just inhumane. It's just inhumane. And so now here he is trying to recoup and has none of his medicine, doesn't have his tent, doesn't have anything. I feel like if people understood these are just people,
Right.
there would be so much less negative connotation towards homelessness, because it could easily be any of us.
Pastor Scott, do you feel that Sherry matches what people think is homelessness?
No, I think most people think of the guy they see on the corner panhandling, will work for food, and then they say, hey, I got some work for you. So, well, I'm not really, I've got to be here, type of thing.
So let's dive into your story a little bit. What circumstances started your homelessness?
I was married for 30 years, and he left. And when he left, I have 3 children, and one of my children is disabled. And the challenges of carrying all hats was a little much for me to bear. And so I ran to a vodka bottle, and I stayed in a vodka bottle for about 3 years. And once I realized that I was losing control, I had my youngest daughter watching my disabled child. She had to quit school and take care of Olivia while I tried to work. I still worked the entire time to bring in income, but it wasn't enough, because I literally, in the hotel room, fell to my knees and cried out to God, I surrender, and I meant it. I went on a Tuesday and I answered all their questions, And I moved in that very day I got a key, and I worked that program for over 2 years. And it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, but it was the most rewarding.
Yeah.
They loved me back to life, and they gave me my life
That's
back.
important, right?
Yeah.
Matthew's Hope is willing to walk with you, and if you stumble, we're willing to help pick you up again. But a lot of it is kind of helping you help yourself by building your roadmap to the future.
I didn't make my hours one day, and so he made me go in on a Sunday, and I go in there, and I'm crying, and I'm out there sanding. It's not fair.
Right.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
If anybody's ever refurnished a dresser, you always know that the first thing on your furniture is your polyurethane. It's the shine. And God just really revealed to me that that is what you want people to see outside the window. Well, then I started sanding. And after I got through the polyurethane, then you get to the paint. Well, the paint is the mistakes that you make in your life, the bad decisions, the divorce, the addiction, whatever the case may be. So as I clean off this paint, then you get to the stain. That's the hardest part because it's really deep in the wood. And the best thing to know about the wood is you can't go to the right, nor can you go to the left. You got to stay with the wood, or you're going to make scars. You're going to ruin the wood. So as I keep on sanding, I'm getting through through the stain, and then I had to use this tool because when you get in the corner of the dresser, you have to get the stain out of the corners. So I got the tool, put the sandpaper on it, and I'm over there doing that. And then I just felt like this is Matthew's Hope. Matthew's Hope is a tool that's getting the stain out of these corners that nobody else can see. You don't want them to see. Then you get to the plain wood. That's the raw, how God created you or created me, was this raw wood. And Billy told me one time that as you put water on wood, it brings it back to life. And at that very moment was when I was crying on this dresser. And that God showed me that as I was crying, that was bringing me back to life. That was healing me. So when I got home, I started journaling all this out. And I was able to put it on a cabinet door. That to me was the beginning of Matthew's Hope, from my transformation, from just really surrendering to Matthew's Hope. I had surrendered to God in the hotel room, but then God used Matthew's Hope to really dig deep. And I said, "Hey, Scott, come here. I want to show you something." I was very new to the program. He barely just knew my name. And so as I'm reading this poem to him, I remember you bending on your knee to hear the poem. And when I looked up, when I got through the poem, tears was running through his eyes. That was the first time that you and I connected as one. And ever since then, he has been my security, my protector. Yeah. So thank you,
Scott. How do you? That's amazing.
Sherry, her success through this was something that inspired me to continue to.
Let it all out. It's no BS. Just
inspired me to do more, because I said, look, if this girl could do this under these circumstances, there's no excuse. The world makes it very hard to get out of homelessness. I hear people all the time say, well, they choose to be homeless. I've never met anybody in my 61 years that chose to be homeless. I have met people that have chosen to remain homeless because they've given up. They bought into the lie. They're tired. They have been, spit upon, looked badly upon, talked poorly to, and they bought into the lies. And I think that it's more important that we do look at people for the amazing and wonderful creation they are, and love people for who they are, not for who we think they should be.
Too, I would love to speak to the audience that are watching now and just let you know that a lot of people that are homeless out here need you, and that they need a shot to have a life that is independent, and that if you have a heart to give and to help, Matthew's Hope is a great way to help others and to give back to the hurting, the lost, and that he has got a great plan set up to show them exactly how to live a proactive life instead of living a reactive life. So I'd appreciate all your help, and maybe I'll see you on the other side one day.